Hey guys, Little Gaming here, and I'm going to explain to you a very interesting thing that I think will help you lose a lot less money at a casino. So everybody knows that with a 0 and a double 0 on a standard roulette wheel, that's a 5.26% casino edge. So 1,000 players buy in for $1,000 each, and over 1,000 days, the casino knows we're going to make 5.26% on this game. Casinos make 11 to 18% on roulette. How is that possible? Magnets, or are they throwing the ball funny, or do they sand down the edges around the zeros so it lands more? Oh, back in like the 1910s, yeah. But now, no, it's actually you. You're the one causing it. And I mean you collectively, not even individually, everybody out there. And you might think, but how are the odds changing? That's not a thing. I'm going to explain it to you. And once you know how this works, it's going to change how you play every casino game, and I mean for the better. So buckle up, this is going to be mind-blowing. So problem number one. This is the boring and obvious one. You buy in $100, you're betting, 10 on red, 10 on odd, and 5 on 21. Cool, so you're doing $25 per spin. Well, after 4 spins, you've cycled your money 1 time. So on average, and the variance on 4 spins is like, flipping a coin 4 times. It is literally never going to be exactly this, but you should have lost 5.26% of your money. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to call it 5% because that's a lot easier to picture. Also, this entire video has next to no math in it because everybody hates that, me included. So if you go another 4 spins with the same exact bet, well, now you should lose 5% of your remaining stack. Do it again, you've got another 5% edge. So stay there for like 50 spins, and boy, you're almost guaranteed to lose eventually. That's why everybody says have a system, have like a get out point. In other words, know when to stop. You've probably heard that everywhere. But that just sounds like an anti-addict thing, like, know when to stop, okay. No, literally, mathematically, know when to stop. Know what mental algorithm you're running, and you don't have to sit there and do the full odds outlay, but you can get a feel for it, and you'll be playing a lot smarter. You'll be walking away with a lot more money. And this applies to every single game at the entire casino. So don't overcycle your money and don't bet too large of a portion of it unless you're going for a higher variance. With roulette, you can basically set the variance yourself. So if you bet on every number but 1, you're probably going to win a tiny amount a lot with an enormous variance swing that just kicks you in the nuts once in a while. Pretty stupid way to make $5. In fact, for various reasons, most casinos won't let you do that. So, people are just playing too much and the edge catches them quicker. Oh, wow, what a great video, Des. Oh, no. That is responsible for a minuscule percentage of their gigantic profits. How did it go from 5% to upwards of 18%? And it's because you walked in with a mental algorithm that you weren't even aware of that tilts it in their favor just on the odds outlay. It has to do with get out points and the fact that your get out point that is non-negotiable is when you're out of money. What's the number one thing people do when they get a really big win on roulette? Hit a number right on, you hit like a row, you put $50 on red and double up. Something reasonably big. Well, let's say you bought in 100, now you're sitting on 3. What is the first thing most people do? Quote unquote, press it. More of a craps term, but it applies here. If you bet $10 on red and it hits, and so you leave it there and bet 20 hoping it hits again, and then leave the 40 there and hoping that hits again, that's the martingale, except you're letting the casino do it to you. The martingale betting technique is you bet on something close to a 50-50, baccarat, red, black, odd, even, whatever, something on roulette, or blackjack especially. You lose $5, you double your bet. You lose $10, you double your bet to 20, and eventually you go up, thinking, well, there's like a 99.992% chance or whatever that in 10 raises or doubles, I won't lose all 10. And so I'm going to win that $5 back. I just have to risk, upwards of $1,000 to do it. Horribly stupid betting strategy. People act like it's a magic auto win button right up until they lose 10 in a row. But why would you let the casino do that to you? So first of all, don't rally bet. That's another term for it. So never do that. But also, when people turn a $100 stack into a $300 stack on roulette, they double their bets. Well, here's the thing. If you're betting $25 and the game has a 5% edge, then you're going to lose about $1.25 every spin. Now that is a flat amount. The other factor here, if you're kind of putting together the equation in your head, which I know most of you aren't because math is awful, coming from a former math tutor and software engineer, You can't go back in time and change your buy-in. That is a static, established amount of money. It is a set variable. Well, now you double your bets because you're hot and you've got more to play with, and you're playing with your winnings. Let's say your get-out point is 150 because you tripled up on 100, but you still want to leave a winner. So, okay, we'll drop 50. We'll just double up the bets, cover, double the spots, whatever you're going to do. 5% of $50 is $2.50 per spin. Now, so many people do that they are like handing $2.50 to the casino instead of $1.25 every spin on average. Like I said, some people win, some people lose, some people get in the middle and then they get out. But enough people do it that it inflates it from a 5.26% number to upwards of 18%. That's worse than any slot I can name. So people walk in with this algorithm that stretches out the odds outlay, but you still bought in $100 and that is a flat amount, and you still have to get out if you run out of money. With those two conditions being immutable, as they say, then you're going to inflate their overall take at the end of the day. It does not all average out to 5.26%. That's just not how math works. Well, how can you flip this on the casino? Let me introduce you to a little thing I like to call the scratch-off lottery ticket paradox. It is not a paradox, that's the joke, it's just a riddle. So there's a $10 scratch-off lottery ticket, and you read the back of it, and it says a 1 in 25 shot of winning $100. And you're like, oh, $100 would be cool. I want to win $100 because that's the maximum that my gas station will redeem. I'm going to buy 50 tickets because then it really should happen. I could still miss it, but I've got pretty good odds. So you buy a whole fresh brick. You buy the whole thing, a stack of 50. You scratch off the first one, scratch off the second one. You get loss, win your money back, 2-1. Okay, couple of, oh, hey, number 9. Number 9 in the sequence, we won $100. Hey, I made my goal. Oh, crap. Oh, I've got 41 of these left, and I don't want to scratch them because I already got to the goal, and they won't let me return them. Oops. Okay, rewind the scenario in your head because you were planning ahead of time and this never happened. Now you're going to go in and you're going to buy one, scratch it, buy another one, scratch it, buy another one, scratch it, until you hit 100, because the probability of you hitting the 100 on the 48th, 49th, or 50th ticket is insanely low. It's more likely to happen earlier in the sequence if it's going to happen at all. So if you just say, well, instead of buying all of them, I'm going to buy them one at a time, and that gives me an enormous advantage. Wait, how? You can't change the ink on the cards. You can't change the probability of the game. You're not changing the bet amount because it's still $10 per try. How did you just make it more likely that you'll not burn as much money? Pause the video if you want to roll it around in your noggin a little bit longer. Otherwise, warning, I'm about to give you the answer. You're trading in the future opportunity to hit 100 multiple more times. You made an algorithm that results in like stretching the odds, changing the total outlay of results that could possibly happen to not let you hit 105 times. Like that was maybe within reason that it could happen. Maybe I should have said 3 times. But if you say that I am programmed to stop when I hit the first 100, if I do so in the first 24, which would mean that you beat the odds because it's 1 in 25 and you hit it in 24, which is less than 25, then cool, you stop. And the earlier you hit it, the better. You might actually have made a profit. However, your sample size was supposed to be 50. So you're trading the future potential of hitting another win for stopping with a slight win or a slight loss. You're just kind of evening it out a little bit. There could have been 2 more $100 winners in the rest of the stack, and then you would have ended up huge. In fact, if you hit $100 on the 9th one and you won a couple, like we'll say half of them you won your money back and one of them you won double, you're actually above your buy-in then. You've won well over 100 actually. You're probably pretty close to doubling up at that point. Now, if you hit it on the 29th one, you're probably way behind. In fact, if you hit it on the 24th one, you're probably also still behind because most of the payback is the $100,000 winner. So scratch-off lottery tickets aren't the best way to, compare this, but it makes sense. So if you're on card number 40 and you haven't hit it yet, that's just bad luck. Oh, well. If you hit it really, really early, you're saying, okay, well, I'm above the edge, so it would actually be safe to keep going, but I'm going to take the win right now based on a preset condition and decision that I made in the past and now my odds of winning really, really high have gone down, but my odds of losing really, really high have gone down. Both have. You've smoothed it out. Now on roulette, you're in control of the get out point, the conditions, and the amount that you bet. So you've got way more control over it. And that's why the pros will say going into it, okay, I'm buying in 2. If I get to 250, I'm out. Because almost everything's a 50-50 on that game. So if you put a couple $10, $20 bets and you make it all the way to $250 with 50 profit, that's pretty good. And then you could say, well, if I make it to 100, my stack remaining is 100. Since past events don't influence future results, every single spin, it's like you're starting fresh new. So if your goal, which is less likely to happen than to not happen, because nothing in a casino is tilted in your favor, except for some of the games that are, but your goal was to make 50 on 200, that's only 25%. What are your odds if you were to start brand new with $100, pretend that you didn't just lose the 100, of doubling up? Pretty darn unlikely. What's the best way to try and get back even? Put $100 on red. You want to talk about high variance, that's literally all or nothing. But ultra high variance, one shot at it, one win and you'd have it. So if you say, well, whatever I was betting, I'm going to double it if I hit 100, you are, I hate to say this, I'm not sure if this is true, about twice as likely to make your money back. Now, likely it depends on the definition of that word. Then we get into like sigma confidence levels and like statistics, and then standard deviation, meta percentages, and multiple sets of individual non-simultaneous results and all this just nightmare stuff that even I have trouble with. So, I mean, if you want just the takeaway from this, set boundaries, set conditions, and then actually stick to them. So you could sit down a slot machine and have it be a low to mid volatility game. This really doesn't work at high, but sure. So something where the bonus goes off about every 20 to 30 spins. Something pretty reasonable. So not Dragon Link, not All Aboard, and not Huff and Puff. Those are closer to 1 in 200. Or something with no bonus, just like a standard 5-liner old school machine, some little double diamond machine or something. Or Top Dollar, I think that's about 1 in 65 is what I've been told. That's kind of mid volatility, but you could say, okay, I'm going to play until I run out of money or until the bonus hits. And then no matter what the bonus is, I'm going to jump off. You've now changed the outlay of results that could possibly happen and the likelihood of each result happening. Now, it still adds up to the casino having an edge, okay? You didn't pull some magic trick where now you've got 110% on the casino. That's absolutely not how it works. Just like you didn't change the overall net odds on the scratch-off lottery tickets in the example, you just changed the potential results to smooth them out a little bit. Little wins, little losses instead of giant swings and giant losses. So like I said, even on a 5-liner that's $5 per spin, you might say, okay, $200 in, $100 in, whatever. Maybe it's quarters, that's more what I play. And the first time I get a pay of 10 times my bet or higher, I'm out. Or if I get to $125, then I'm also out. I don't care if it happens in one spin. You're trading the fact that, okay, in this advantageous thing in a predetermined number of spins, I'm already up. So I could keep playing, but I'm not going to, even though I'm taking like an advantageous shot at the future to win even more. I could also lose even more. And at the end of the day, the casino's making about a 10% edge on that slot in all likelihood. So it's in your favor to set a boundary and get up. And I'm not just saying like, oh, know when to stop. If you get to double up on any machine, you leave. Those are generally good, but we like to do all kinds of stuff. We could turn this into a game. If I'm there with da boys, everybody plays until one bonus gets hit. Everybody plays video poker until one deuce shows up on the line. And then we kind of have a little $5 side bet or, whoever loses pays for dinner to see like who comes out the best after one deuce shows up on the deal in video poker 10 line or whatever. Or the first person to get one shifting jackpot on the little 9-line shifty jackpot machine, which is one of my all-time favorite slots. And then as soon as it happens, you mark down what was the buy-in, what was the get out. Okay, you're up $10, he's down $20, he's up $100. Then we switch seats and we go for the next person. So it's entertaining, it's engaging, it's interesting. You've still got action, but you're not even the one playing. It's a good way to have some fun. And then you limit your play to a boundary, an event, and usually tie that event to a mid-size win, because then as soon as you get a mid-size win, you're probably up, unless you had to chase it too long. And then at least you got a partial recovery, and you're just going to have to eat that because it's a casino and you're never going to consistently win every trip for 10 years. Unless you're a dirty, filthy, rotten AP player like me. But if you don't like studying numbers and statistics and memorizing machines and numbers and having notes in your phone and paying for paid databases of this kind of stuff and memberships to private groups, which sounds an awful lot like work to just walk in and make like 100 to 200 a night, then yeah, you should probably just go to a casino to have fun. I would not recommend my techniques. I would not recommend my world. That's why I'm telling you this one, because it's how you just mitigate absolute and utter catastrophes. Now, we have stuff like, okay, the first time this comes up, depending upon if this happened or this, just a couple if-thens, and we just kind of memorize it, and we just kind of feel it out and think, okay, I'm not going to sit there and do the math on this, but we know the bonus comes up fairly often, so we'll play to the second bonus no matter what, and then only get off if we're up at all. And then otherwise, the third bonus, we cut it. If we get down to half our buy-in without a bonus, then we also get out. And just walk around and go play something else, because walking around is time spent not playing. If you're angry that you didn't hit the bonus in the first 50 spins, so you bet double and start speed spinning, that is exactly the opposite of it. If every single time that the average person wins on roulette, they immediately bet higher, giving the casino a higher flat number when their buy-in was also retroactively a flat number, then they could inflate their 5% edge to an 18% edge. You're probably starting to kind of get how this comes together. If you're not, then, maybe you're not just a math and patterns and logic kind of person. That's fine. Very much most people are not. But if you just do the tips that I outlined, put a bunch of boundaries, put a bunch of conditions, kind of make it like an achievement system, a mission, like whatever you want to call it. Treat it kind of like a video game, then you're actually going to do better, because people think that when they see YouTubers do that it's just for show, it's for entertainment, or they have like a group of, 21-year-old looking guys at like a bachelor party or something at the casino saying, hey, let's play to the first bonus. They might actually just know what they're doing, or they just realize that in the back of their mind that limits their play and it limits their exposure. And you get off on a partial or full win that does a partial or full recovery, then yeah, that actually does kind of not go nuts. Instead of just throwing endless money at one machine, doubling your bet because you're down and then getting bankrupted in the first 10 minutes. Okay, that's not a good way to hit a casino. But I'll end on this story that really nails this home. I won $7,000 on a 7X Royal on a quarter machine. Video poker, multipliers, let's go. And the lady who gave me the hand pay walks past me and sees me playing 60 cents per spin on a slot that I just really enjoy and is really fun. Usually there's 4 of them. So I saw the people get off it. I jump on and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do like $3 a bet. I know it takes quite a while to hit the bonus and to get like a good couple respins, but I just want to play it because it's fun and the sound effects are cool and the art is cool. And I just want to go for maybe like a Ruby jackpot or whatever. She walks past, she stops for a second and she's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, pretty good. Yeah, I got the 8 respin. She's like, oh, whoa, another hand pay. And she looks down. She's like, are you betting 60 cents? I said, yeah. There's no difference on this one. Like, you're not disqualified from the bonus just because you underbet. And she's like, yeah, but even at $3, usually when we pay somebody $7,000, the 70th bill hits their hand and they already got 1 foot inside a high limit. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that. People chasing like losses from like the last 3 years. They think this is their big chance to get it all back. And yeah, mathematically they're not wrong. But like I said, what's 5% of a $25 bet versus 5% of a $50 bet? You are very likely to give the casino their money back. So she said, yeah, you're smarter than most. I'm like, yeah, not in a big hurry to give it back. I just want to have fun. She's like, yeah, you're going to do well. Nice lady, shout out. But the worst version of this that I could possibly give you, and this is not a story that I've heard, it's just a scenario that happens commonly. If you walk into a casino with $500 because you are not going to lose more than $500, that is what you're willing to risk. If you won $10,000 on some crazy progressive, go to the restaurant, spend $20, walk out the door? Like, is that what you would do? Stop and think, what would you actually do if you won $10K at a casino? Even me, I would answer, play with $2,500 of it. I don't bring in an amount to a casino that would almost ever result in me winning what I would consider to be a lot of money. And that scaling issue applies to every single person. If you think $100 is a lot of money, so you bring in $100 because that's the max you could ever possibly lose because you aren't in like a great financial situation, and you won $500 on some crazy hit, obviously not $100 a spin, you're doing like, $3 a spin and you hit like a mini jackpot, you probably still don't consider $500 to be that much money. I mean, it's going to pay some bills. You're going to go grocery shopping. It's nice. But like that could be one trip to the grocery store. That could be one car payment. Okay. You probably, if you consider $100 to be a lot of money, would consider $10,000 to be a lot of money. Well, the only way you're going to realistically have a chance of winning $10,000 with $100 is extreme luck, or instead walk in with $1,000. Now, you can't afford to do that. But if somebody can afford to just, hey, I'll take $1,000 out of the bank account. I got, $100K in there. Some doctor, dentist, not like a millionaire, but like somebody, business owner, retiree, whatever. Well, if they bring in 1,000 to win 10,000, they're like, okay, well, that's like 10 trips to the casino I just won. Like, driving a $40,000 Lexus. I don't know. It's a lot, but it's not really a lot. Well, in order for them to win $100,000, which is what they consider like a lot, like you could buy a camper, a vacation, go on 2 cruises, like that is a lot of money. I mean, around me, you could buy a house for $100K. Well, the only way you're going to win that is by walking in with about 10 grand. And even that's 10 to 1, but it's a lot more realistic than going 100 to 1 with your money. But you can't afford to bring in 10,000 because, like, let's not get nuts. Your bank account only has, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in it, and you don't want to burn through it, So bringing 1,000 is perfectly reasonable. So to the average person, it is unbelievably unlikely to win an amount that they consider a lot of money. So one, lower your standards. That's the moral of the story right here. Consider bringing in 3 and doubling up to be like, whoa, even though $300 probably ain't that much, still you doubled up and 300 spends just the same. 2, be a dirty, rotten AP player like me and always win. Or 3, don't care about the money, bring whatever you're willing to lose, and then stretch out the odds and stretch out your playtime and your fun, like I just told you in this video. But what you should never do if it does happen to you, let's circle back to that. You bring in $500 and you win 10,000. You might say to yourself, okay, I'll play 2. I'm going to pocket 8 and I'm going to play with 2. And then you go to your favorite machine and you start doing $3 spins. You're like, why am I doing $3 spins? I have $2,000. This is stupid. Let me stop you right there. You're already wrong if you think that. But okay, you go to the machine and start doing $25 or $50 spins. So like, high limit pinball or top dollar. And so you're up, you're down. Maybe you do win more. Maybe you break even, but probably betting higher, you're handing them 10% on the average slot of $25 a bet, and you were betting $5 a bet, so you are upping the odds that the casino is going to win a higher flat dollar amount of their money back. Now, percentage-wise, percentages don't change. The machines are set to 91%, 96%, 88%. That's just what they're set to. But you upping your bet amount is the same darn thing. As if you kept your bet amount the same, and they somehow opened up the machine, changed it out, changed the odds, and dropped the odds in half. So they made it twice as hard to win. It's mathematically, at the end of the day, the same dollar amount. It's the same number. And that's why I say, you can't retroactively change the amount you bought in with. You walked in the door with $500. That is your total amount you're risking. That is a static point in the past that cannot be changed. So what all of a sudden made you willing to lose $2,000? And the answer is because you want to win more and play big because it's your only chance to do it. As long as you're aware of it and put a safeguard on it, okay? I'm saying don't do that, knowing full well that I would absolutely do that. In fact, our limit is on big wins, 25%, and on small wins, 50%. We'll play with the winnings. The only difference is with what we play, sweep the whole casino, hit like the 30 AP machines that have potential opportunities. Some are tilted as much as 1,000% in the player's favor, and like Wolf Run Eclipse, I'll jump on it if it's 101% in my favor. If the true progressive numbers are high enough, I'm going to jump on it, and in the long run, I'm going to average out to always winning. See, that's the difference, because I know there's always going to be a stack there to play with after one sweep. So we're playing with 50% of the profits that we already know the profits are going to come. Now, you're already starting at a disadvantage, playing a 10% edge slot machine, and okay, you get a $500 win. Well, now what do you do with it? Oh, up your bet. You were not guaranteed that first one was going to happen. I am. So keep that in mind, but okay, now all of a sudden, you're a person who's willing to give them $2,000 in losses and be perfectly fine with that just because you're walking out the door with 8. You are certainly helping the casino, but if you are truly deep down okay with losing that much, go for it, because like I said before, nobody brings in enough money where a reasonable but lucky win would be considered an unbelievable life-changing amount of money. That just doesn't happen, because usually the average person would consider it to be 100 times what they brought in, and you don't tend to win 100 times what you brought in ever. So when it does happen that you win partially your way there, or you win like a very big number, don't suddenly turn into somebody who's willing to lose that much, unless you're like, no, I'm bringing in 1 to 2 bills per trip, And the first time I win like a grand or higher, I am throwing 75% of it at high limit because I want an enormous jackpot. I kind of get that. That is your one chance where you've got the resources to do it and still walk out a winner, but you're like doing the reverse of what I said this entire video. You're trading a win now for an opportunity at a bigger win later. So it's the opposite of the scratch off lottery ticket paradox, which once again is not a paradox. You're helping give the money back to the casino at a higher rate, probably, but when else are you going to walk in with $1,000, $2,000, $10,000? Never. This is your one shot. Now, it comes down to, do you need the money, and do you value the shot at winning an enormous jackpot higher than the value of walking out with that money? Like, would you get more enjoyment, entertainment, future vacations, your children's education, getting rid of your car and buying another one if you won 10K? Or is it like, this is the gambling fund, and I'm going to play with a portion of the winnings no matter what? Now, always stick to the cutoff, though. There is no excuse at all whatsoever to winning a fairly big amount, losing all of it, and then trying to chase the winnings / losses. That's the last rule that I'm going to highly suggest to help you in your casino career, because a lot of people make this mistake. I would say virtually almost everyone, me included. Not anymore, but me included back in the day. Okay, you bring in $200, you get up to 1,000 because you got 2x Royal on dimes. On your first spin even, good for you. Well, you've been there for 5 minutes now, what do? The answer is continue playing at the amount that you were comfortable with the entire rest of your career. That is the actual answer. But if you're like, am I going to play higher? Am I not? Well, you're like, well, if I lost 2 of this, I'm still up 6. Like, that's insane. That's so much more money than I walked in with. So 2, that would be a lot to me, but I planned on losing 2 anyway. So I'll play down to 800. And then you do, and you're like, whoa, that went fast. Probably because you upped your bet, which you should not do. But okay, well, it's still winnings. Like, I'm still playing with winnings. I'm playing with house money. Now, you're only playing with house money if you're playing with free play. And you are actually obligated by rule to cycle through it one time before cashing it out. Otherwise, that's your money. I don't care if it's in the machine. I don't care if you're playing ticket to ticket. That's your money. You can walk out the door with it. But okay, you're playing with winnings, and it's fine because you'll cut it off at half, and then, oh, wow, now I'm down to half. I only meant to play with 200, now I'm down 5. I'm still up, what would that be at that point? 3, because you walked in with 2, you got up to 1,000. Well, okay, I'll play with the rest of it, because if I play with 3, it shouldn't be that hard to win back up to 1,000. Then you lose that, you're even. You're like, okay, I just blew $1,000 win, or I mean, that would be an $800 win, because you got to 1,000. So I blew 800, I'm back to my buy-in. Well, that's fine, I'll just pretend like I walked in the door, but my gosh, I want to get back to that. I actually really liked it better having an extra 800 off that one crazy hand. So then you start betting really big because, okay, pennies and nickels ain't going to get you $1,000 again, probably, because you literally just got a 2x Royal. Probably not going to happen again. So if you want to get back to up to your high water mark of $1,000, you're probably going to have to run $10 to $20 spins on something. So you do that and you lose the 200 and you're like, okay, well, this is just like a normal trip, but I'm not leaving until I get that money back. That was a mistake losing it. That was a really bad lucky streak. I'm still riding off the high of getting up to a grand. And I am going to get back there because I am not happy with myself right now. Then you go take out 500 out of the ATM and then lose that. I mean, maybe you might win your way back up. It does happen, but you tend to hear the stories about people losing more. And remember, the more you bet, the more you give the casino's percentage edge a higher flat dollar amount. And you only walked in with 200 initially. This happens to so many people. They play with the percentage, they get absolutely wrecked at high limit, and they're like, yeah, but this is high limit, I'm supposed to win, and okay, I'll dip a little bit more. They eventually play all the winnings, and then they just cannot handle leaving even. So that's why I say, no matter how much you win, cut it off at 50%. Walk it with 2, get up to $2,000 and $1,800 in wins. Guess what? Your cutoff point is about $1,000. Technically it'd be 1,100 because you do, minus, it'd be technically 1,800 divided by 2, but then, plus 200. That is not complicated math. If you're lost by that math, you probably shouldn't be in a casino. Everybody knows the golden rule of casinos. You probably heard it a million times, don't chase losses, but don't say to yourself in your head that it's okay to chase losses because they're actually losses on winnings. So you're, quote, still up. Cool. Walk out the door or bet even less. The best way to maintain your stack is bet half of what you were betting before you won big. That's the next best thing to walk it out the dang door. Go to the restaurant. Catch Pokemon on your phone. That's what I do. If I'm way up, the rest of my crew wants to stay, cool. If I hit my get out limit of 25% on a big win, and that's it. I'm walking with the rest because it's profits. Then I am done playing. That is all there is to it. And I am the most stubborn stick to the rules person you'll ever see. At least 90% of the time I stick to the rules. Look, sometimes you're like, I hit my hard limit. I'm up $750. That's it. That's my limit. And then somebody finally gets off the new machine that you absolutely love that you haven't been able to get on all night. Sometimes it happens, okay? I would actually, for the next week, be a little bit mad if I wasn't able to get on the machine because I went to the casino to play that one machine specifically and couldn't play it all night, and now I'm still up, and then I threw 100 at it and lost it. I'd still be okay with that because I wanted to play it because it's fun. You know, that's not because it's lucky or I think it's going to win, because it's fun. And I like the bonus when it goes off. I like jumping around, getting excited when the little panda comes out and dances. So to me, that's worth the entertainment value, the risk, and whatever. And still, at the end of the day, it's still only a 10-90 split approximately between the casinos. So you might not lose it all. It's just how you react to it happening. So don't value winnings less than you did when you walked in as far as a dollar amount goes, and don't play with all of it. Don't chase losses when you make a dent in it, and always have a predetermined amount that you're willing to get out at when you are up. I'd say that's almost more important than you walk in with 2 bills and that's your budget for the day, the week, the trip, whatever, and you're not hitting the ATM, you're not getting cash advances, none of that, okay? Because that's equally bad. But telling yourself in your head that it's okay to go completely nuts because you just won $1,000 is mathematically a great way to give the casino all of their money back. You might still walk out and be okay with it. Where you're like, oh, I got back down to even and I left, or I lost the 200 after I got up to 1,200, but I was going to lose the 200 anyway, so yeah, I lost all the winnings, but whatever, I wanted to win more, and you're like psychologically okay with that. Okay, as long as you really are, just know what you're getting into and make your loss tolerance, your play style, match your personality, what you find acceptable. So those are all the tips I've got to help you avoid getting absolutely destroyed by the casino. I think I might make like a general tips video that's not just focused on just this one mathematical concept about like setting algorithms, boundaries, and complex, like networks almost of if-then conditional statements, because that is the fundamental way that people like gamble smart and healthy over the long term and keep things very reasonable. But I am going to make a video in the future, another standalone video on another concept to help you lose a lot less at a casino and potentially even win by teaching you how to tell if something is true progress or a fake progression machine. A little dolphin going up and down, if he's really high, does that really mean that I'm more likely to win? Just because this number went up, does that mean anything? If the bubbles are at 52 out of 60 and it must hit by 60, should I keep playing? Like, did I actually invest money and have I sunk it into a true progress where I'd be stupid to get off the machine? Or all the little firecrackers and the pig that's really, really big and going to explode any second, like, is that sunk money? Like, if the pig's really big, should I not get off until it hits? Or how do I tell if a machine is true progress or not? And it is shockingly easy. You can learn it in about 3 minutes. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that video, because that is going to be huge. I'm still getting footage for it. That's the only problem right now. But man, you don't want to miss that. If you watch this entire video because you're just like hardcore, I go to the casino all the time and I want some strategies to help turn around the constant losses, you are on the correct channel. Leave a like, send this to everybody you know who makes casino trips, send it to everybody you know if you're about to make a casino trip with them, and shout out to everybody forcing their friends to listen to this on the way to the casino in the car. Hi guys. Leave any remaining questions down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer all of them. I really appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.